Hey guys, Fabio here. Hope you're all doing well and a very good morning. So today is the big day. The algorithm access will be given today alongside much more. So if you want to know what it all is, make sure to check out the link in the description down below, which will link you to our Discord server. So I would love to see you there. And without further ado, let's see what the dollar index is doing. So looking at this daily chart on the dollar index, for me personally, there is not much to say. Preferably, I'm going to be looking at this weekly chart, and looking at this weekly chart, it is still looking bullish in some sense. However, we have seen this deceleration candle in the form of a doji, which failed to break the previous week high. So I wouldn't therefore be surprised if we do start seeing a pullback on this weekly time frame, and therefore, of course, also on the daily and the 4-hour. So looking at this daily time frame, let's see what's going to happen. I would still prefer a pullback back down in towards 92.680 before seeing any potential more upside. But first, like a lower time frame downtrend back down in towards these areas of demand, which we have situated over here, would in my opinion be favorable. So let's wait and see until we break this trend line, preferably also break this low over here, which is also a taken out demand, or excuse me, a not fresh demand zone anymore. Because at the moment we just tapped in towards this area of demand. After that we saw retracement back up in towards the highs. However, for now, let's just wait and see if we can break this trend line, break the lows, see the retracement back up, and then a further push back down in towards the lows to create that new downtrend back down towards 92.860, where liquidity lies for potentially a push back up in towards the highs. The overall structure on the dollar index is looking very messy for me, so that's why I'm not really too interested in it all. Still, we could move up higher in towards this swing high of 94.742 and this area of daily demand. However, the chart is just not looking that clean for me, so I'm not going to really pay too much attention to this chart for now. So that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. So guys, Aussie dollar has moved up higher, currently situated within this area of demand. However, if we look at the overall chart, there is just not a real clear area of demand, excuse me. It's just not that clear, So we could start moving up higher, even though we skipped this area of daily demand down below over here. So we could just start rushing through all of this, because we do not have to move in towards this area of daily demand, as the market is of course imperfect and not always in line with your belief or with your vision. But looking at the current 4-hour structure, it is looking pretty bullish for now. So what I'm going to be waiting for now is just to see how we react to this swing high over here. That's for me like the main question of today, and then after that see how we react to this swing high over here, as we could either see a fake out on this high or on this high. Looking at the overall structure on, let's say, the 4-hour or the daily doesn't really have any clear areas of supply or demand, so therefore I'm not really paying too much attention to this all. Just being honest. Of course, we kind of have like this trend line over here, which we could start moving towards. Then maybe see a rejection back towards this area of daily demand, excuse me. But once again, you don't really have any obvious areas of daily demand or supply. So therefore, for me, this is just a chart that I would preferably skip if we don't see any rejection from up above over here. And I would preferably just focus on the lower time frame. So let's say the 4-hour or the 1-hour. So let's head over to euro dollar. And euro dollar is moving up higher, which is really nice to see. Remember what I said about that third trendline touch, which we had over here on the weekly chart. I hope you guys remember from last week's video. Also alongside this minus 27 daily fib extension level. So at the moment we are kind of breaking out of that descending trend line. So what I'm waiting for at the moment is just for structure to be broken, for a more impulsive move up in towards the highs. Because what I want to see is that clear trend line break, essentially also take out this high over here and then see a retracement. But that's still going to take a very long time. So for in the near future, what I'll be waiting for is some more clean structure to start trading from. Going back towards the 4-hour, there's not real liquidity or real obvious liquidity, let me put it that way. Potentially over here in this doji candle, there is some supply. So expecting a reaction from that level. But essentially, until we don't break this high, we are still bullish or bearish, excuse me. So not much to say as well on euro dollar, guys. Sorry. So with that said, let's over to pound dollar. So looking at pound dollar is currently in supply, so I would love to see a pound dollar short in the near future. Pound dollar is looking a lot more clean, a very obvious area of daily supply, which I pointed out last week. Also on the 4 hour, there's some very obvious 4 hour supply. So for now, let's just wait and see. I want to see 1.36950 get hit, and then we can start looking for shorts. So how are we going to be looking for shorts? Well, what we need to see is a lower time frame trend break essentially. So let's wait and see until we start breaking, for instance, this trend line over here, and then we can start looking for, let's say, boom, boom, and then supply will be created over here, and then we can have that area of stacked supply with, of course, the daily and potentially also the 4 hour to then take a short further in towards the downside. So yeah, that's pound dollar for you. Let's head over to Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar also looking much better than Aussie dollar and Euro dollar. So as well, we have some very obvious supply situated over here on the 4 hour. As you can see on Friday, we reacted to that beautifully. However, markets are just super choppy thanks to the dollar index not being that clear. So at the moment, what are we seeing? Well, of course, you kind of have like this head and shoulders pattern. So most likely we're going to be taking out the stops above this high before even moving down, or maybe even the high over here. Yeah, if you look at this 1 hour, guys, it's just super messy and there's not much to say about it. 4 hours just also consolidating over here. However, we are still rejecting this area of supply within the market, which is really nice to see. So wait for 1 hour trend breaks and then look for potential shorts. Let's say if we do move up higher, wait for these white lines, these two white lines to get hit at approximately 0.69931 before then looking for shorts. Because we are still looking for that area of daily demand to get hit before taking any long positions back up in towards the highs. So yeah, that is Kiwi dollar for you. Let's head over to gold. And gold, guys, so gold really went for the stop losses situated above the highs, as we can see, of this overall range. So yeah, I was in a short, excuse me, and I was waiting for that more downside to get to occur. 1733 was what I was looking at. However, as we can see, we just blasted in towards the highs, so my stop loss got hit at break even, and we are now moving back down lower. So I wouldn't be surprised if this week we do see those lower price levels. So I'm just going to be waiting for lower levels of price before looking for any potential buys. So in the meantime, I will be looking for potential scalping short positions, towards the downside. So for instance, on the 5 minute, you can start looking for short positions, and that's essentially what I'll be doing. So for instance, over here, if you look at the 50% body candle, what we have over here is, let's say, we have some area of basing over here, up above over here, and what you can then do is look on the 1 hour and the 4 hour if this is also basing structure on those time frames, and then for instance wait for the market to move back up in towards that level, pull your fib from, let's say, here to wherever price retraces, and then look for further shorts once you reach that area of stacked supply. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be waiting for those areas of stacked supply to get hit on gold on the lower time frame as well, before then looking for potential shorts all the way back down in towards 1733. So yeah, guys, that's all for today. Not a very clear market. Still, market is a little bit messy, so I'm just going to be waiting. Probably only Kiwi dollar and pound dollar are looking a little bit good, so those are going to be my main focus for today, alongside some scalps on gold potentially. So thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to speak to you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.